Hey there. Happy Friday. Long time no see. Glad to be back. Welcome to another live stream with Bobby Legs. Yours truly, Bobby Legs. I missed you guys. I was away for the last 2.5 weeks on a nice family trip to some countries in Europe and finally got back yesterday. Battling a little um, fatigue, a little what you call it, jet lag. Yeah, see, the brain is not firing on all cylinders this evening. So probably just keep it short tonight, maybe like a half hour, and just to catch up and talk to you guys, see what's new. I've been out of touch really with the goings and the new releases in the watch community in the last couple of weeks. I don't think I missed much per se, but again, I missed you guys, and would love to chat it up for a little while. And hey, I've been wearing my Nomos this evening. Great little watch. Got an opportunity. I brought it with me to. We went to Denmark, then Austria, then Germany, back to Austria, then back to Denmark, and I brought a couple watches with me. I brought my Zin 903. I brought a Nomos. I brought a Boulder Field watch, which is it's a fun little watch to wear, especially like kind of like a little like a beater type watch, and it was good to have. But I had the Nomos there, and I met up with our good friend Wolfgang and his awesome wife Katie uh, about 3 or 4 times, and when we first met in Austria during a trip. I've met Wolfie before several times here in the States, but when we first met, like the first time we met, because we again met several times over the trip, they were wearing their Nomoses and I was wearing mine, so we had a nice little three Nomos lunch with my family. My family was there, of course, too, on a lake in the lake region near Salzburg in Austria. Beautiful country. Austria is amazing. Vienna, world class city, of course. But I was really taken back aback by the beauty of that region in the eastern part of Austria as you get to the Alps, and just beautiful, pristine lakes, right? Of various sizes, next to mountains that just go straight up thousands of feet up in the air, and it's just amazing, amazing. Did the Sound of Music tour? Yeah, totally did that. And then the Bavarian Alps in southern Germany, right next to Austria, very similar feel to Austria, and then Denmark. Somebody is I guess fireworks are going off this evening since yesterday was July 4th. Somebody just set off a big firework right in front of me. It was raining last night, so I guess it tampered some of that, and now it's going to probably wake up my kids and freak out the cats, but whatever. It's all good. Anyway, as I was saying, Denmark just a totally different vibe, geographically, topographically, or whatever. Flat country, but just really beautiful as well, and just really enjoyed the trip. Just really enjoyed the trip. Okay, so enough of that. Let's say hello to the chat and see what everybody else is up to and what watches you're wearing. So Marceau is here. Hey, Marceau, wearing the GP L'Oreal. Hey, look, I got a chance in Vienna when I met up with Wolfgang and Katie there at the Bucherer shop, and they have GP and all different Laureatos. And I got to see in person that green dial Laureato, and wow, man! So I thought, okay, if I'm gonna get a Laureato, it's gonna be the blue dial. I really like it, the three-hander. Man, that green dial is amazing. That's the one to get. Like if you're just not getting anything like limited or anything extra fancy, just a three-hander, that green dot, it was so the way it plays with the light, it almost looks like it's like one of those like it's very um the depth, it's like almost like 3D. You know, like those mall posters, where the posters you get in the mall and you stare at it, right? You have to stare at it for a while before you see something. Like it was almost like kind of like feel, but like in a positive way, like way positive. So man, if I'm getting L'Oreal, I'm going green Dow. I'm going that green Dow. It is just amazing. Bruno wearing the DS30 tonight Damasco. That is Bobby Legs approved, of course. And so is L'Oreal. Bill K is here. How you doing, Bill K? Mr. Wilson, good to see you. Maison, hey everyone, wearing his Moser Heritage. Love that watch. Blue Pilot's watch, like my Navitimer. Can't wait until the Navi comes home. Yes, sir. Hey, Weven, what's going on? We're in his Satori Billiard. Good to see you. Nate Dog. Thanks, Nate. Hey, you're wearing the Zodiac Pharaon. Okay. Did Bobby buy a Geo? No, no, I didn't. I didn't buy any watches for myself. The kind of it would have been irresponsible, right? I mean, like um, the trip, wasn't cheap. I mean, those countries in Northern Europe, um, they're not cheap, man, and what a wake up call with the VAT, right? I go to the Lego house in Denmark with my son and family, and you buy some Lego sets and like the VAT. That's when I first really noticed it, 25%. I'm like, whoa, that's bananas, man. I mean, like, look, when I go back to customs, I get that VAT back. But if you're living in Europe, they with the high VATs, with the high sales tax, man, I know I'm not going to get into like any of the reasoning or the politics about it, but it's just a sticker shock. It's definitely shocking. Rick is here wearing his Longo One Perpetual. Thank you, Rick, wearing the honors the Rob Strip. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. Um, Actually, hey, we even see you. You see that news for Martin Pooley? Oh, did they issue? Like, did Martin Pooley get an exclusive version of the Satori Bureau? That's cool. I heard the hills are alive there. Yeah, man. Oh man, we were in a town on a lake called Lake Wolfgang, actually, and we stayed in a town called Saint Wolfgang, and they had a train, very slow train that took you up the hill, up the mountain, and it was a nice like 70-degree morning, 75-degree morning, and by the time you got up to the hill, it was like near freezing. It was so cold. I got out of train. I was like, and I was in t-shirts and shorts, and I'm like, oh no, the hills are definitely not alive here. Um, hey, thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it. Hey, Thomas is in the Bobby Legs YouTube group, and which has access to the Discord, and they did a monthly giveaway, and he won today. So we'll be sending that watch to you next week, early next week. It's a Belova. It's a surprise. I had a picture of a few of the boxes of the watches that I was giving away, and you didn't see the watches, so I had a little fun with it. And I said, Thomas, since Thomas won, I said, hey, pick one of these. And I think you're really gonna like the one you're getting. It's a cool piece. And the beautiful schnitzel. Yeah, the schnitzel. I had 4 different schnitzel meals. Ate four schnitzel 4 times. When in Rome, right? When in Vienna, right? When in Austria. Um, it was good. It was good. Look, I'm all schnitzeled out. I gotta admit, I probably won't have schnitzel until the next time I go to Austria or Germany. But so good, so good. Hey, Cabby. How was the freak? So Wolfie picked up a UN freak. Man, it is amazing. It is amazing. It's just like a totally different ball game. I'm not talking about necessarily price point. I'm just talking about like the watch itself, the mechanics of the watch. It's just like nothing that I've been able to hold in person. I've seen these watches, right, in person, but never like actually like held it like and looked at it. You know what I mean? And spent time looking at it. It's just an amazing piece. Just an amazing piece. So cool. Um, hey, Sea Dweller 43 for Wilson. Great watch. Um, yeah, the green one is cool. Thomas is wearing his Polar Explorer too. Um, hey, Pepe D's nuts. What's up? Good to see you, man. Good to have you. Good to have you. Yeah. So, but got to see some really cool watches with Wolfie. Um, in that trip. Like I said, met him at Booker. I mean, he brought some of his watches too, and he's got a great collection. But met him in Booker, and we spent some time there. My son came along, and he got to put on some watches. They treat Wolfie like royalty at that Booker, so we were able to hang out there for a while, and one of his buddies, Alex from the Red Bar group, I think at Vienna, was there, and what a great guy too. Collector, um, just a really super nice guy, and everybody was really really nice there, right? And so it was a lot of fun. My son, got that experience, and and my kids they love Wolfie and his wife, so that was actually pretty cool too. And then Wolfie, we went to another dealer about a few blocks away had an event. It was like a Tissot and Union Glasuta, and I was really excited about seeing some Union Glasuta pieces in person because you don't really see them here. They don't have any kind of distribution here as of yet, although that is changing, or if it's already changed, it's just happened. I had reached out to the company about 3 or 4 months ago and said they had something in the works going. It is a Swatch brand. I believe it's either Swatch or Richemont. I think it's Swatch. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they're going to be in, watches of Switzerland or whatever, AD network they associate with themselves here. But I got to try on some of the Belisar models of the Union Glacier, which is a chronograph. Let me pull them up so we have a frame of reference. Um, I think aesthetically, like I think they're very attractive. Um, I don't know how not terribly original, but just cool pieces and the green one here was there, and there was a blue one that I think may be limited. No, that's not this one right here. The blue one here. Um, very, very cool. I left there liking the blue one the most, but the more and more I think about it, I think I prefer the green. Let me pull that up again. Um, I think I prefer this piece now. Now, in retrospect, like thinking it over. Um, but not having seen it in person and just looking at it for months and months and months, and being aware the specs of these on this. I mean, it is a 44 case diameter, and I believe it was like 52, maybe 53 lug to lug. Um, I wondered, like, if I could pull it off, and sadly, I don't think it's something that I can wear. It's just a little too big. It's also 15 millimeter stick, which is not that big of a deal for me. Um, but if it was like 42 millimeters case diameter, or if it was like maybe 40, uh, I could deal with that. It'd be more of like a hockey puck though at 15 millimeters at a 40, but I think I could definitely deal with that more so than the specs as is right now. It was just too big. It was just slightly too big, and so that was a little bit of a bummer. But I'm glad that I was able to experience it and not make a potential mistake if I was buying it without trying it on or seeing it in person. Hey James, good to see you. Teddy might be picking up Union Glasuta. Well, good for Union Glasuta, for sure, because Teddy, will market the heck out of it. There are some really cool other pieces that they have. I mean, we could take a look at it. Their pulsometers that's cool. Yeah, they're I mean, these are great. I mean, but they're big. You know, I think this is also. I think they're all R44, right? Yeah, yeah. This is the bummer. I mean, I'm at my to give you a frame of reference. My wrist size is 6 3/4. If it was just like a little bit bigger wrist, maybe a 7 1/4, it'd be no problem. It'd be no problem, this watch. But I just have to be honest with myself. I mean, it's just a little too big, and it just wouldn't work, which is a bummer. I like these 1893 Johann Durstein's editions. I think this is classically beautiful. Maybe a bit boring, but that's okay. This one with the power reserve, I like this one too. I kind of like the white dial a little bit more. Here they have a moon phase edition with a calendar. Um, Pretty cool pieces as well. I like these. I like these a lot. They're not terribly expensive. Pricing has gone up. I've been following this particular model for like a couple of years, been on the fence about it for a while. I could tell you that price has definitely jumped up. I think when I started looking at these a couple years ago, they were under two, like barely under two, like 1950 euro. But now these have gone up significantly, and maybe they're just padding it because they know they're going to have to negotiate. If they reaches a an AD, or if it reaches like distribution that way around here, I don't know. That's just a guess. Um, but just some cool pieces here. These bell size, I love them. I love them. They're just too big. Not so crazy about the dive watch. It's okay. It's okay. Um, but I think where they really the sweet spot for them, for me, is the Belisar and this 1893 um, uh, special edition with the Johannes Durstein edition. I mean, this is a cool watch. I mean, it's cool. Um, I'm sure they're using ETA movements because they're a Swatch brand. That's great. But the designs are relatively safe, right? There's nothing too crazy going on here with some of these watches. Um, but that's okay. I dig them. I dig them. Let's see here. The lug design doesn't look favorable for 44 millimeter. Maybe, and that's probably true. But it's hard to tell from a mugshot. Yeah, there's something. So like my um my GP Seahawk is like a 43. I think it's like a 43 millimeter case hammer, and it's got like about a 52 or 53 millimeter lug to lug, and so that's very very close. And it's like with the sapphire crystal, it's domed. It's probably like somewhere between 13 and 14 millimeters thick. So it's not too much different, like specs wise, than the Belisar. But I think you're right. There's something about the lug design that makes it that much more unwearable um, compared to the Seahawk. The Seahawk is very wearable for me, even at that size. The way the lugs curve down, and it kind of like hugs the wrist, kind of. But there's something about the Belisar, the case, that just makes it a little bit unwearable for me. You know, Maybe not for somebody who has a bigger wrist, but definitely for me. Just love the way they look. I never see big pilots have the same issue. Yeah, I think what it comes down to, you know, th- the regular IWC 41 Chronos. Man, this is a great watch, right? I mean, that's a great. I've tried those on, and those fit really, really good. And that's kind of like if I had like 20 watches to pick, right? It's not in my top five, but they're in the 20. The Itis would be a big pile. But the Pilot 41 Chronos. Um, I like those a lot. I like those a lot. The big pilot's a totally different animal. Yeah. I have a buddy of mine whose wrist is maybe slightly smaller than mine, and he's got a big pilot, and he loves it, and he wears it. It doesn't matter, and it's just it'll work. And that's some people don't really get bothered by an oversized watch. I try to convince myself that I'm not, but I got to be honest with myself, right? I mean that Bellstar was just a little bit too big. Um, yeah, yeah. So that was probably the closest I got to like thinking about buying a watch, even though it was a little too big. Um, and then I saw some geos, and Vienna's good to like window shop. I mean, watches because there's you got the Bucherer, and then you got the smaller boutique type places and dealers, and you can they have the windows, and you just look at them. And I saw there is a Geo boutique there, and man, that panel, I'm a sucker for that panel reserve. I think that's it just solidified that I need to get that watch one day, right? So hopefully I can get that one of these days. Hopefully the next time I go to Germany or Austria, right? I definitely want to go back to Germany. We saw very, very little of it, but would love to like do like a watch tour there one day. Really, I know I've talked about that before, but really would love to do it because there are a couple, cities that are have some great watchmakers, and then of course, in southwestern Germany, you have the Black Forest region where you got the cuckoo clocks, and I have about three of them, and I love cuckoo clocks, so I would love to go see some cuckoo clock shops. I do like cuckoo clocks. But so sadly, no Geo. I did get Bobby and my daughter some swatches, so they picked up a swatch because Bobby wanted he saw a what was the watch? A Mito um compressor diver, the one with the kind of like rainbowish dial, you know, had a lot of colors, and he wanted it, but it was just way too big, and it was like 1,400 euro. And I knew I could. First of all, that it was too big on him, and I knew I could get a discount, like buy pre-owned and then save like 50% on that. Anyway, so he was like, "Oh, I want to watch," and I was trying to find like a small PRX, Tissot PRX, um, that maybe he would like, but he wasn't really into the PRXs. So we were walking back to our place, and there was a Swatch store, and I'm like, okay, let's pick you up one, and he found one, and he put Wolfie, Katie, and I through the ringer because he kept on asking, like, he was like trying to narrow down his choice, and he was like, okay, so do you like this or do you like this? Okay, we like this one. Okay, and then he would like it was like one of those like eye test, right? I mean, is this lens clear, or is this a better one? One or two, one or two, one or two. And that's what he kept on doing, and and it was taking a long time, and we finally got through. We finally got through, and he picked one, and then of course we had to pick get a sister one because it was it's got to be fair. It's got to be fair, right? Um, I mean, that's not me saying that. That's them saying it. Like they need to. If one has one thing, the other child has to get the same thing. Um, Marceau is like, I feel the same way about the panel inverse. Hard to pass up. Yeah, Panamanic inverse. I'm not super crazy about the Panamanic inverse, but it is a good looking piece. Perhaps I missed it, Maison says, but did you get a good look at the Geo? Even if you didn't get one. So like I didn't get to try any Geos, but I did get to um, see them on display. Yeah. I saw the green down moon phase. Not too crazy about that one in the moon phase. Saw some 60s. They look. I, I I I like them better now that I saw them in person. The 60s, I still not so crazy about them. That I wouldn't buy them personally, but I mean, like I like them a little bit more now that I saw them in person. Of course, I saw some 70s chronos that just were look awesome. I love that model, the 70s with the chronograph. They're just so dang cool. I would get one if I could afford it. They're expensive though; they're really expensive. So that it's probably not in the cards ever. But really really cool watch. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're just great pieces. Joe, hey Bobby and friends, Air King on tonight. Awesome. That's awesome. Um, mission to where? I don't know. Is that did I say I was on a mission? Yeah. I'm in love with the geometric Panamanic annual calendar. Uh, that's a great piece. I think does Toppers have one? Toppers have been having some interesting deals today. Let's take a look at it, and then I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I gotta be honest, still a little tired. Um, but let's see here, Glassute Original. The Panomatic calendar. Is this the one you're talking about, Rick? Um, if it's not, I mean, this is still really a cool piece as well. Um, 21 minus 10%. Um, yeah, yep, yeah. No, this is awesome too. I think I would like this more better on a black with a black dial. Did they make it with a black dial? I don't know. It still looks great. Still looks great. Don't get me wrong. But I just like gold with black. Um, anyway, that's just me being nitpicky. But there was a couple of interesting deals today that are gone. They had I really like this piece, and this is like one of the first pieces that sold out today. This 556, very very good condition. For 1350. If you don't know how I'm coming up with that price, there's always 10% off on toppers when you enter a code. So 1500 minus 150, 1350. Um, with the California style dial, very very cool. I'm like ho hum on the 556. I'm not really that crazy about it, but you do something different like this, it gets my attention, and I'm a sucker for California dials. Um, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. Also, there was a T50 on here that was an incredible price. Where did it go? Right here. So um, this watch new is like 3,800, right? And then if you get it from WatchWise here, it's in the States, and then you got to pay taxes. So you're paying over four for this watch. 93% condition, which pretty much means 100%. It's perfect condition. Um, and 25.99, so 2,600 minus 260, right? So that's 2,340, I think. For $2,340. That's a heck of a deal. Whoever picked this up got a heck of a deal on this watch. Good on them. Um, titanium. That's a titanium watch too. And I know. I'm only talking about Zen. But oh, surprisingly, this 104 is still here. It's a little on the high side, but if you minus if you take the it's 1440, um, right? I think I'm doing the math right. And it's in perfect condition as well. Um, these hold their value pretty well. The white dials and 104s. So 1440 and no tax. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad at all. They got a 60s square. Oh no, yeah, chronograph here. I don't know, that's tough. That's that's tough. I just I think it's just the case shape, how it kind of like angles. I don't know. There's something that's a little bit off about this particular watch for me that just I'm just not really into. Um, but again, some good deals here. This Hesalite Speedy went for under five. Um, Pretty good condition. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, I guess. I mean, I know. 5 years ago, you get Speedies for $3,500, but those prices have been going up on these. Surprisingly, um, so they had an Anardane, and I was like, no way is this gonna sell that quick, and it sold pretty quickly. I know these are hard to get, um, but I remember when the teal the Model One. I mean, I remember you can get a couple years ago. You could have gotten this for like $1,300 from the Met Museum website in New York. They had Anardanes on their online shop, and they ran like a 15% off, and like you can get these for like $1,300 a couple years ago. And talking to our good friend Alex, who lives over in Scotland, and he said like his when he first bought Model One, um, he paid like less than 1,000 for it. And look at what they're going for now. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. Um, any updates on the 903? Um, the new 903? Michael B thinking about picking up the new 903? Yeah. Um, I think they're pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool. Um, if that's what you, yeah, I mean, like if you're looking for um the previous iteration of 903, obviously you're gonna have to get them pre-owned. Um, and those are great too. But yeah, big fan of the 903. Mike Amazon saying I have the white 104. Apart from the jammed winding, needs a service is in perfect condition. Yeah, it's a really solid watch. It's I've always said it's the gateway, the 104, the gateway into not only Zen watches but also German watches. At least from the standpoint here from the States, right, where we don't really have access to a lot of German watches. I think the 104 is definitely a great way to get your, you know, dip your toe into the pool of German watches. Yeah, 3+ year wait on newer Anodane, so that probably explains why they're going crazy. I mean, I know they have a hard time with these enamel dials. Like when they make batches, like sometimes a whole batch can just not pass their quality testing. Yes, the new 993. Well, I mean, updates. I don't know. BWeb, in regards to updates, are they sold out on watch buys? Are you in the States? Anyway, like they've gotten rid of that knob that turns the bezel, right? So now you can just turn the bezel on the bezel itself, which is I think a lot of people are happy about that crown around the 10 o'clock position. Applied indices, the loom on those are very cool, are very good, and they're coming out with different colors now, right? They just not only just the black and the blue, but they have like a kind of like a greenish tone one, and a light blue, like an ice blue, right? Um, I like them. I like them. I mean, like, it's like I mean, I know, and rightfully so. They're compared to the Navi timer, right? I mean, we we know the story behind how the 903 came about. Um, but it's an option, right? I mean, like if the new Navitimers are very, very expensive, and I guess rightfully so. I mean, especially now that they have the in-house, I think is it the B01 movement? They had that movement that Breitling um, manufactured along with Tudor, right? Um, so they're not cheap anymore. The Breitling Navitimers really. Um, you could get an older Navitimer if that's what interests you. But I mean, anyway, going back to 903, um, it's just a great piece, man. A great alternative to the Navitimer, especially at that price point. I like it. I have a vintage 903 in the collection, and that watch is great. And I wore that mostly through the whole trip when I was on holiday. And it's a great watch. It's such a cool watch. It's like impossible to read the time, especially the one I have because it has like a 24-hour dial. Um, but um, but it's such a cool piece to look at. Um, you're in Atlanta, yeah. The special edition 903 sold out. Others are on pre-order. Okay, okay, so that's what's going on. Do you think that you will be able to get one for a new one? Unless I know somebody who's bought a new one, um, I probably won't get one in hand. Um, and Watch Buys, who is our distributor here in the States, they don't really send out watches to creators. If they do, not to channels of my size, right? So yeah, so I mean, unless I know somebody who has purchased one and is willing to send it in for a review, I'm probably not going to get one in person. And the fact that I have one, and I think I have the best one, right? That the vintage one I have is to me the best 903 ever made. I'm probably not buying the new 903, even though I like it. Even though I like it. I was gonna say I'll get the 903 eventually when they come out with a colorway I fancy. I'm sure they will. I'm sure that's what they're going to be doing, right? I mean, they'll probably follow the same footsteps as Breitling has with the different colorways for theirs. Unless I come across an all black one they discontinued in 2015 into top condition. Yeah. Um, so cool. I'm gonna stop sharing there. Okay, so listen, I'm running out of gas, and I'm gonna hit the hay. But I just wanted to take some time out and then reach out to you guys because it's been a while, right? So, anyway, Sunday, I've confirmed with Watchdog Clayton that we are going to be doing an episode of Watch Soup on the other on the Watch Soup live stream channel. So we'll see you on Sunday, and then of course Tuesday I will be doing a stream. Also, look out for be doing a giveaway and for the general channel, not the YouTube group. I already did that one today, but for anyone who's subscribed to the channel, I'll be doing a giveaway. And the video on that will be coming out Sunday. I won't tell you what I'm giving away. It's going to be a watch, but you'll find out on Sunday. And have a few giveaways lined up. I'm just catching up with a lot of stuff. Got a lot of watches to give away over the next couple of months. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me this evening. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you on Sunday on another episode of Watch Soup. Take care and good night.